Today is Saturday, October 17, 2015, and you're listening to Comm Chatter Off Duty. Holy crap, I got it right. This is like the first time I've ever done that.
I'm
Yeah.
Pixley, and with me as always is Alderin. This is the show where we go over out-of-character things for Star Citizen, which there's a lot of out-of-character news that we're going to go over this time.
Yeah, and this episode's this episode's special. Not only do we have a ton of stuff, most of which is actually relevant for once, it's also a little cursed. Like you blue screen twice, I blue screened twice. Then like last couple times we tried to record, we had stuff come up both times.
Yeah, we tried to do this show
We've been trying for like what
2 weeks ago.
three, I think. Wasn't it three?
No, it was two, because last weekend was when I went with my girlfriend to go see a football game, and then the weekend before that is when we did our attempt. So yeah, blue screens got in the way of that. So hopefully this will be the one, but that's fine because we're actually going to cover CitizenCon content this time around as opposed to just the lame content we were going to cover with the previous one. So, hooray!
Okay, so basically, social module, electronic warfare, Vanguard variants, community hub, Endeavor, basically everything since then, more or less. All that and more after the jump. Surprisingly,
Best intro ever. We're keeping it.
That went so well.
So we're going to blast through these first few topics real quick so we can get to the real meat of the matter, because CitizenCon is a lot more interesting than almost everything on this list before it. So first off, Social Module came out. It features part of ArcCorp. It's kind of neat for about 10 minutes. You can like walk around, dance with people, and look at stuff, and use the chat, which no one says anything interesting on it. So yeah, it's music for about 10 minutes, and then it's like, oh okay, I'll go back to not playing Star Citizen anymore.
Yeah, we'll come back to this later. There's more news on it. Yay.
Indeed.
Electronic warfare. There was a design post on it a while ago. It went over the various types of signatures. The infrared cross section, was it? I don't have it pulled up right now.
Something like that. Profile.
Yes, profile. Ship ID,
And,
which is basically like a VIN number. Ways of suppressing those, the different types of sensors, passive and active. Just go read the document. Seriously. I know.
We don't have enough time to cover it.
I know you're not too terribly interested in it.
Nope, not in the slightest. I want to blow stuff up.
Although I do think it's worth it. It definitely is worth a read.
It's important. It's just that when Pick and Shield finally gets up and running and we have people, there will be people in charge of that, and I don't have to deal with it. Because see, the thing about leadership is not about...
The leadership is telling people to do stuff for you.
Yeah, no. Leadership isn't about getting people to do what you want. It's about getting people to want to do the things that you don't want to do.
Next, Vanguard variants. There are three types now: the Harbinger, the Warden, and the Sentinel. Is that it? Yeah. The Warden is the
original one.
Yes. The Sentinel is basically an E-War variant. It has, I think, was it advanced sensors, decoy missiles, EMP something or others. I should probably open these. It's an E-War variant. And then the Harbinger is basically guns.
Yep, it blows stuff
like,
up.
for example, the top turret on it is now a missile turret. it has bomb bays instead of escape pods. Yeah, that's...
Which means the only way you can get off it is Doctor Strangelove style.
If I didn't already buy the modules for the Retaliator, I was actually going to consider one of these, like the Harbinger. But I did, so I didn't.
Yay! I'm a bigger fan of the Retaliator's aesthetic design than the
Yeah, I kinda.
Vanguard.
I was just considering Vanguard because it might have been more functional for us, considering.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? We'll see what the future brings. Community Hub.
Indeed.
We're on there.
Yep.
Okay, so the Community Hub is basically a place for, not upload, but to share it.
Share.
Like, there's a section for podcasts, there's one for live streams, there's DevWatch,
Or- It's all about
There's-
just stuff. So if you
yeah.
like,
MVP.
if you like the wonderful, yeah. But if you like the wonderful world of Star Citizen, this is basically that, but bigger and less curated.
Yeah, it's
And yes,
basically...
you can find Comm Chatter on there.
Yeah.
Vote us up, and we can do stuff with the votes. I don't know. It's probably just imaginary internet points like Reddit, Karma. But you can contribute.
Okay, the Misk Endeavor. Now, I'm not too terribly interested in this because we probably won't have anything to do with anything about it. Basically, it's a science ship or slash hospital ship slash exploration ship. Why aren't you
Basically,
opening-
a bunch of things I don't really want to do.
Okay, so
The only thing I want to research is how to blow pirates up.
well, I believe the collider in there can help you overclock stuff better than the workbench can. So
I'm not buying a whole ship for that.
okay, let's see. Basically, it's a highly modular ship that has all sorts of science pods, research pods, hospital, telescope array, biodome, super collider, general science, service equipment and crew, general research, fuel, medical bay, landing bay, which can hold, I think they said 4 Cutlass Reds, or more
wow.
smaller ships.
Yeah, I mean, that's like at least 6 Hornets then.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Hornets are pretty big.
Yeah, but Cutlasses are pretty bigger.
I'd say maybe, I'd be hesitant to say 6, maybe 5, but then you'd have the one odd one.
Yeah, exactly. That would just be ridiculous.
Or like 20 Merlins. Okay.
Well, the real question, I think, for any test people who are watching or listening rather, is how many Aurora can fit in there.
Yeah.
That's the real
Okay,
question.
Okay, so this is another one you should just go read the doc on, because I want to go over it, but we don't really have the time. But there's another feature about it. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but the command module / explorer module can detach from the rest of it and go off and do more dangerous stuff by itself and leave the more vulnerable other part off on its own
The
to do its
rest
own
of the
thing.
ship.
Yes.
So, like the saucer separation in like 2 episodes of Next Generation.
Pretty much. But I can't really think of a better comparison. Yeah, it's like that. Again, just go read the documents. Unfortunately, the sale is over. It
Yeah,
ran up
missed that
until, I think, the 12th, I think? Yeah.
Yeah. So if we'd done this show the last time we tried, you would have known about it. You probably know about it anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to see this when it's right on the
Yeah,
front
I
page.
feel like if you know about us, you probably follow things closely enough that you would have known that the Endeavor happened.
Okay. Next up, the new cross-chassis upgrade system is online. Basically, in this one, instead of having to go find the right package, you can just choose which ship you want to upgrade and what you want to upgrade it to. And I guess they're also working on a cross-chassis downgrade, option.
Yeah, I was about to ask what was wrong with the old system.
This is actually a lot easier.
But they didn't do a very good job of describing what had changed at CitizenCon, and since I don't have enough money ever to consider CCU, I didn't investigate it. But yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So yay, good change, guys.
Okay.
Probably should have been the system from the start. Would have made things a lot easier.
Well, there didn't used to be so many ships. I don't think they really needed it back then.
Well, as a programmer,
You need
you gotta
to...
future-proof your stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Next up, the Aegis Saber. This thing actually looks pretty kick-ass. Have you looked at it at all?
Appearance. I mean, I saw the images of it during the CitizenCon stream. I haven't taken a look at it in detail. Honestly, I'm a little sour on it, if only because we already have a bajillion ships that do combat. Do we really need another one?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way on that, but it'll be nice seeing people, hopefully, getting away from just Hornets and Super Hornets. Because that's like all you see right now.
Yeah, but I mean, the Aegis Saber is supposed to be stealthier and more agile, which means it has to give something up for that. You wouldn't say like, "Oh, this is more this way," because otherwise it's just flat up better.
It basically gives up a little armor and shields. It's like it's like a newer light fighter. It's, I think, actually described as a medium fighter, whereas the Hornet is a heavy fighter. Is it a heavy fighter? I don't remember.
I think it's supposed to be.
Basically, think the replacement for the Gladius. Oh, and I think they said also in our RTV that it's going to be medium range. Like it's going to comes with a jump drive and everything.
Ah, okay.
That's another attractive thing about. Okay, also has 2 size 3 fixed and 2 size 2 gimbaled. But of course, you can put size 2s on the size 3s and they gimbal, which is probably what I'll do.
Yeah, gimbaled stuff is nice. But what I was going to say is having something that's essentially a Hornet but with a jump drive is actually somewhat attractive to me.
Yeah.
Because I know how to jump drive. It is worth noting, though, that we do technically have another fighter in the pipe. The F-8 Lightning. That's still coming.
I think they said they aren't planning on selling that. I'm sure it'll be available
maybe not
in
for, like, crowdfunding, but eventually I would imagine be in the hands of the general populace, post version 1.0 at,
that 1.0 being release 1.0.
Yes. I hate this versioning system, by the way.
I'm pretty sure they all
Alpha
do.
1.3. No. Fuck you. I hate it. As a programmer, I hate it very much.
I've gotten used to it with Minecraft. Like there's like three versions of every version so far. I saw something for I think it was 1.8, and they were like, I wasn't sure if it was beta 1.8, release 1.8, alpha 1.8.
Did beta make it to 1.8? I thought
yes, it did.
It was.
This isn't
it was beta 1.7 then release 1.0.
I think 1.8 was the last. Let's move on. This isn't Minecraft.
Yeah. This is Star Citizen.
Oh, what? No, mouse. Why you do that? Let me just see. The star map is finally here, and it's
yay.
Well, there's
now
not.
You can finally figure out where Terra is in relation to Earth.
Yeah, this is actually pretty nice because I don't think any of the fan-made star maps are updated anymore. Like I went to go look at one, but
yeah, well, they're also not necessary.
Yeah.
Hooray! But yeah, I didn't realize Pyro was like right there.
Right where?
Like
I've got to go take another look at this.
Terra and Pyro are adjacent.
Oh yeah, they're.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's nuts. But yeah, it's cool. It has like Google Maps pathfinding type stuff.
Yeah, and okay, so it shows you the jump points, like their different sizes, like, where they connect to, small, medium, large, if they're hostile or not. I think. Let me pull that up. No, it doesn't show if they're hostile, but it'll show if the planet's hostile. or friendly.
Mm-hmm.
You can click on the system. Then you can click on a planet or a star. It'll bring you up to that. However, there's not information on all of them yet.
Yeah. I was really disappointed to see that they only had landing zone information for Prime. What about New Austin? New Austin's important. Yes, I may be biased being an Austinite, but still. That was supposed to be a landing zone.
Yeah, I think we've only actually seen stuff on Prime, like, as far as Terra goes.
I know. It makes me sad.
Well, we'll get it eventually.
Yeah. I'll be doing my best to keep New Austin weird. Anyway.
Anything
All
else
right.
you want to say on the star map?
It's pretty. It's visually impressive for like a web app thing. I mean, it destroys my MacBook, but
Well, it's a Mac.
like on my regular computer, it's nice. Well, it's not that it's a Mac; it's that it doesn't have the horse. It's that it's a low-end MacBook Pro, so it doesn't have the horsepower to
Were
handle
those
it.
the ones that just have like that don't have any fans or anything?
No.
Like
it
the
has a fan in
CPU's
it.
just attached to the bottom or something?
No, those would be the MacBook Airs.
All right, yeah.
I hate the concept of those. Anyway, all right. So, I guess we'll get on to the main event.
Okay, so CitizenCon happened. Watch the stream. Just do it. Insert
You made
Shia
me watch the
LaBeouf.
stream before we record.
Yeah, I did. It's that important.
In my defense, the reason I didn't watch it is because I was busy all last weekend, being out of town, and I was busy all week working. Work is busy. But yeah, I watched it. It was good. Given that there's been kind of a lull in morale, at least from what I've observed from people, like, this was kind of a breath of fresh air. Like, there was a lot of good new content.
Yeah, things were just getting a little, I don't want to say stagnant, but I can't think of a better way to put it. That and,
I don't know, I think stagnant's a great word for it.
yeah. Like, there were times I would barely actually even check the forums. Well, I don't really do that much anyway. It's kind of a dreadful place.
Yeah, well, I stopped my subscription, so I don't even have, like, a reasonable place in the forums to look anymore.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay, so what happened at CitizenCon? They announced SC Alpha 1.3.0, which, according to them, is... I guess they are aiming to release this week. Aiming to. Doesn't mean they will.
It is in the PTU right now, though.
Yes, it is.
Which...
Apparently, it's very buggy, as in buggies are exploding.
Ha 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 ha. Buggies.
What's going to be in 1.3.0? Now, there might be more. I'm pretty sure there is more, but here's what I've got. The Bearing Ballistic Cannon size 4. Apocalypse Arms Mass Driver size 2. More emotes. You can choose loadouts. They're adding more to ArcCorp. Improved Elevator, which I think they said is going to show all the instances of ArcCorp,
Ooh.
as well as I think if your friends are playing on there, and how many people are in each
that would
one.
be nice.
They're going to improve the chats, as well as the AR, augmented reality.
Do you know what
They're
sort
adding-
of improvements they're doing to those things? Because, I mean, they seemed like they were fine already.
No clue. If you went on the PT, if you went on the PTU, you could probably find out. But
I'm not downloading that.
But Star Citizen and Time Warner don't really seem to get along. It tends to drop my connection to a crawl. Like, I'm talking kilobytes. Ugh.
Yeah.
Screw you, Time Warner. Buggies. Like we said, they're kind of exploding right now.
Wait, do you have to own a buggy in order to use buggies in the in ArcCorp?
I'd assume not. I'd assume they're just kind of spawning there in the parking spots. Again,
Good.
you could probably find out if you went to the PTU, but no thanks. It would take me a
Yeah,
day to download.
I'm not downloading.
They're increasing the player cap to 40 people.
They're trying to at least. I don't know if
They're
that's
Well, I think
like.
they said that's what it is in the PTU now.
Oh,
They're up.
okay.
They're updating the Hainer lighting in the Southland Hainer. I believe they said the Revel in York, but they've not shown any pictures of it. And in RTV, they didn't mention Revel in York when the question came up. I'm actually slightly considering switching back to the Southland one if that's what lighting's like. I think that's kind of what
I
it.
haven't seen it actually.
You remember how it looked back when they first showed off the new Hainers? How it was, I guess, more clear looking before it made the
Uh,
Southland look all dingy.
oh, yes, that would be great.
Hold on, let me actually see if I can pull up one of these. Basically, it looks a hell of a lot better. And like I said,
Yeah, better.
they haven't shown any in the Revel in York Hainer. Though I'm not sure what they could do with
Wait
that
a
one.
minute. Yeah, it was already well lit.
Yeah, it is. I think it's just the quality of the lighting. Because
Oh,
I remember one of the big complaints about the Hainers was the difference between the lighting in the concept phase and the complete or ready phase. Like really, the way it is right now, the Southland Hainer just looks so dingy with it.
well, I will. I will argue the point though that the Southland hangar is supposed to be dingy.
Yeah, but it just looks bad with that lighting.
I don't
What's
know.
going on?
I have not been in the Southland hangars at Hornet.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You forgot I had a Hornet?
I knew you had a Hornet. I forgot you switched Hainers.
Yeah, I mean the Fairview hangar just looks so nice. Like I love the color scheme.
Anyway, moving on. There'll be map-specific loading screens. They'll be updating the videos in ArcCorp. Animating the clouds. And, yeah, I think that's all I've got for 1.3.0.
I don't remember anything else, so yeah.
And next, Alpha 2.0. Not... not...
These version numbers hurt my soul.
Not Arena Commander 2.0. No.
Or Star Marine.
This is the beginning of the persistent universe. And man, does it look cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
so
is
go on. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, watching the footage from that probably got me the most excited I've been about Star Citizen in a very long time.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's see. It combines spaceflight, EVA, the FPS, social module, missions, as large world tech, which is a million kilometers squared by 200 kilometers high. No, 200,000.
200,000.
200,000, sorry.
Yeah, which ends up being 200 quadrillion cubic kilometers. That's a big number.
Okay, you're going to have multi-cruise ships, zone streaming, which is the seamless transfer between areas. There are going to be stations all over for repairing, for getting missions, for unveiling destinations. There are going to be more FCS modes. Precision, really, well, precise, of course, mode. Really
Yeah, so like
slow,
for landing.
accurate. Yeah, good for landing, mining, navigating asteroid fields. Space combat maneuvering, basically what we have now. And automatically adjusts depending on whatever factors. Super cruise, which is basically max standard speed, what you can do with your normal engine. So, the thing about that is, you can barely maneuver in it. You can take like gentle arcs. So if you have a large area to cross, but still within, I don't know, the same instance or whatever, you'd use that. Assuming there's not like an asteroid in your way. You
Yeah.
don't want to splat on that.
Nope. Don't cause space Titanic.
Then there's the quantum drive. Yes, that's going to be in 2.0. Oh, I can't wait to do that on a fully loaded ship.
Yeah. I'm gonna do some quick math real quick.
Okay, so basically the quantum drive is only going to work in straight lines. And you won't be able to maneuver at all. You're going to be needing... You'll need to go a certain speed, and the quantum drive will need to spool up. And when I read that, I just had a flashback to Back to the Future.
I just did some quick notepad math, and at quantum drive, to get from one side of the play box to the other would take about 17 seconds.
Really?
Yep.
Not gonna lie, I was kind of...
Assuming quantum drive actually does go, like, properly goes at 0.2c. Because 0.2c is 60,000 kilometers per second, and it's 1,000,000 kilometers across, and that ends up being about 17 seconds. And yes, I do know the speed of light off the top of my head.
How long would it take if you're just... Well, we don't know the super cruise speeds. Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping it would take longer.
Well, but I mean, this is basically the area around one planet.
True, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And let's put it this way, it's 93 million miles from Earth to the Sun, roughly. I don't know how much that... Well, I'd have to do some...
Okay,
to do that. But point is, that 400 quadrillion cubic kilometer box around Crusader is still relatively small when it comes to intrastellar distances. Space is big, yo.
Well, we won't really have the time in 2.0 to use when you're in jump or in quantum drive or whatever, and you're pretty much invulnerable to attack. Is a good time to kind of fix stuff, get things sorted out. Basically, there's almost always something to do.
Yep, that'll be nice. There are pirates to blow up. I was really excited to hear that.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we can start doing stuff. We can start doing stuff.
Okay, so where was I? More ice, yes. They're going to add in 2.0. They're going to add the Million Mile High Club, which is a private lounge in ArcCorp.
Yeah, if you bought a package with that in it, which is probably like 10 people ever.
I think it, off the top of my head, I think it was a 2,500 package, maybe 5,000. I don't remember. I know there's a ton of people I've seen talking about it. Although, you can invite people that don't have it to the club.
Might have to tap Ken Shadow for that one, because I'm sure he has it at this point.
Oh, I'll probably be there by the time it's out. Anyway, next up is they're adding referral programs, so you can invite people to Star Citizen and get rewarded for it, instead of just being like, yay, I recruited someone. Okay, so...
I don't know, I feel like that's its own reward.
Okay, so... the prizes are, for one referral, you get squadron badges. 3 referrals, you get 15,000 UEC. 5 referrals, you get the Fish Tank 2.0. 10 referrals, you get the Aurora DX package. 25 referrals, you get the Gold Ship model sets.
It seems interesting that they're doing this now, though.
Yeah, this would have been. I mean, can you imagine if they did this like, I don't know, a year ago?
Or 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago. Yeah, it
Yeah,
just seems
I
like odd timing for it. Like, I mean, how many million are we at now? We're over 91, right?
yeah. Oh, and speaking of millions, we'll get onto that very soon. Um, but yeah, I've not gone to look, but I bet there's tons of people complaining in general about how many rewards they'd have by now if this is already out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, Squadron 42. That cinematic was kick-ass.
And of course, featuring unexpected Gary Oldman. Didn't even sound like Gary Oldman. Damn, Gary Oldman.
Yeah, and
I didn't
also
realize he could be a wheezy admiral dude.
okay, so yeah, he is Admiral Bishop. Is that it?
Yeah, Admiral Ernst Bishop.
Yeah. Also in Squadron 42, there's going to be Mark Hamill, John Rhys Davies, and Andy Serkis,
And,
among other
Gillian
people.
Anderson.
Yes, yes. That was X Files, right?
Yes, she was Scully in class. Or was it Gillian Anderson? I don't actually know. I've never heard her name.
The name's familiar, but I didn't really
Yeah.
watch X Files. It was a little
She
before my
plays
time.
Officer Hardass in the Morrow Tour thing.
Oh yeah. Anyway, it begins more or less right after the attack in Vega.
Yep. Which we need to do a proper comm chatter on
Yes,
that.
we do. Very much so. And it's on an Idris patrolling the Jean border.
That's a great place.
Well,
Vandal attack! Let's go look at the Shion. That's...
well,
Yeah!
you don't want to be thrust right into it.
Well, yeah, I know.
I mean, you'll be there eventually.
Yeah.
And also, I've got the feeling that Mark Hamill isn't necessarily a good guy in this.
Ooh,
what about
that
you?
would be an interesting twist.
Okay, so
I don't know, because we had barely any, barely any recording of him doing stuff. He didn't even.
I know
like,
it was
talk to
like
the camera.
it was what 2 lines. But okay,
Yeah.
so theory crafting time. I'm not. He's not Navy. I can pretty much tell you that. He's not friendly. But not outright hostile.
Yeah.
Chances are either you come across him prior to joining Squadron 42, or very unexpectedly, without Bengal support, while you're
Yeah,
in
'cause
Squadron 42.
Because he certainly wouldn't be superior to you because someone else is playing the captain dude. I
Yeah.
forget their name, and then you have Gary Oldman as Admiral Bishop, and so unless there's another level
Yeah,
of
he just-
hierarchy in there,
Yeah, he just sounds like he's threatening the player as well.
I didn't catch that, but okay.
Well, not necessarily threatening, but you get the point.
Yeah, but I mean it's Mark freaking Hamill, so yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't expect to see him with him, with the new Star Wars. But
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense given that Star Wars has always been filmed in the UK, except for various specific
I didn't know
things
that.
like Tatooine. Yeah, like
because I knew
basically
he
any-
was going over there. I saw someone mentioning that Mark Hamill was going to the UK, and everyone was guessing either Star Wars or Star Citizen for why he was over there.
Yeah, well, I mean, because the thing is, basically any scene in any Star Wars movie that isn't like on site. So like for instance, Tatooine obviously is not in the UK, but for like basically any indoor scene or any on ship scene, they're doing that in a soundstage in the UK. That's just been the thing since the 1977.
All right, I just had no idea it was in the UK. I figured it would have been like out west somewhere.
I don't know. But yeah, I think going back to Squadron 42 itself, I think the most interesting thing about it is that I don't know about other people, but Aldrin and I had always assumed that Squadron 42 took place bef- like before the start of the Kickstarter in universe. So before 2942, for instance. But apparently it's taking place in 2945. So
So yeah, it's still going to be prior to the persistent universe,
it will
but
still be prior to the persistent universe, but it does kind of screw with
yeah, it's
the
going to throw us
timeline.
for a loop a bit.
Yeah. Well, I think the way I'm going to work around that is just that um, the colonel had left the Navy by the time that the Battle of Vega happened. Like he had done some fighting of Vandal because of course there are all sorts of skirmishes and raids, the terms that Admiral Bishop uses, and those would be the things that the colonel would have been involved in, but he would have left back in 2942 or whatever the exact date I gave was. But for people who wanted to be who wanted to have more involvement in their backstory, for those of us who do roleplay, um, that will shift things around quite a bit. But I think having things on the, at least as far as the colonel is concerned, I think the timeline I've established for him works just fine. And then so he just reacts to the Battle of Vega, as opposed to being involved with the events during and following it.
of course, we'll also have to figure out how Pick and Shield is involved because I doubt things are going to be exactly the same. Like,
Uh,
because there
yeah.
might be military contracts we take escorting them through dangerous sectors while they are actually on the front lines more.
I mean, yeah, of course the colonel would want to help out with that. I mean, the thing is, though, with the movement of the military presence against the Vandal, if we're going to proper war, that does mean that more of central UE space is left less
Yeah,
protected,
that's what I
which
meant.
kind of
Yeah.
which makes the like pirate raids around
Oh yeah.
Crusader make more sense. So I was thinking like once Alpha 2.0 comes out, like I was thinking, and I guess this is a spoiler for people who want to follow a storyline with the proper Com Chatter show, that we basically move out to the Stanton system for quite a while as we deal with this stuff. Make it like a long-term excursion thing we do. And this is me spitballing here live on mic, but that's what I was thinking when I was watching the live stream 2 hours ago at this point.
Yeah, got to figure out something.
Yep.
Things have changed a lot. Okay, so
Quite a lot.
right. You want to touch on that anymore, or should we go on?
The only thing I have left to say is I hope that cast didn't come at full price, because I know that Mark Hamill, John Rhys-Davies, Gary Oldman, and Andy Serkis are not exactly the cheapest of actors, given that they're all pretty high up there. I mean, especially now that Mark Hamill's like cinematically relevant again with Episode 7 on the horizon.
I mean, well, yeah, as far as actual acting goes, he kind of did fade out, but he was still doing like tons of voice acting.
Yeah,
You know,
although I mean,
beyond just Batman stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, he can't had kind of backed off on that for a little bit, which I guess. Oh, oh, that makes sense. He said he was backing off on it as a misdirection from going to do Star Wars. Ha. Okay, that makes sense. Point is, though, um, certainly not chump change to get those four plus the other high end people they're having um, on a mocap set for like 100 hours or however long the shoot ended up being.
Right.
So yeah, basically my point is I hope our money's being used wisely.
Okay, so next up, and this kind of blew my mind. 1 million citizens.
Yup.
That's more citizens than are in the states of Wyoming, Vermont, North Dakota, Alaska, South Dakota, or Delaware.
Delaware's the only one on that list that actually surprises me. I figured more people lived in Delaware.
Yeah.
But obviously the Dakotas, Alaska, and Wyoming,
Okay.
and then Vermont is
Yeah.
just
This list was actually from, based on, I think it was 2012, but I looked up an updated one, still the same. We would have passed, I think it was, I don't remember what it was. There would have been one more state, but I don't remember. I mean, but they've got like 20,000 more people now.
yeah.
We're gaining on them.
Yep.
And along with that announcements, they've announced that there aren't going to be any more Arena Commander passes or Alpha Access passes. It's just going to be free access to everyone who backs.
Yep. That's good. I'm glad they did away with that. It was confusing.
Yeah,
and
it was.
A little. I mean, way back when it made sense because like the managing funds for like server access and stuff, but at this point, yeah, that's good on them for making it so things make sense to people coming in. Alrighty. So yeah, that brings us to the end of our show. Thank you to everyone who makes this show possible. CIG, all the listeners, Senate Van Ryn, StarCitizenRP.org, and the wonderful Star Citizen roleplay community that's part of that, and also on the official forums. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can do that through our website, the contact form on our website. Our website is commchatter.net. It's still a work in progress because neither of us have had a lot of time to invest into making it fully complete yet. I think we're missing a couple of bios and some other things, but the contact form is functional and it sends straight to our pickandshield@gmail.com email address. Using that contact form is definitely the easiest way to get a hold of us.
You could also try messaging us on the RSI forums or using the community hub.
Yes, you can leave comments on our thing and we'll respond maybe.
You can also vote us up, please.
Yes, please vote us up. We need those imaginary internet points. Yeah. I will say that I may not necessarily get to you in a timely manner if you PM me on the RSI forums. If you want me to see something, please use the contact form.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do check in every day, multiple times usually. So if you need a fast reply, send it to me.
Yeah,
also, if you want to be a guest on the show, same deal. Just contact us.
Yep.
We'll let you know.
That applies to both. That applies to both Comm Chatter and Comm Chatter Off Duty. So if you have an in-character thing you want to do, or just you have a topic you want to discuss that fits within the overall theme of Off Duty, you can do either of those things. We'd be happy to have you on. The best content we've had thus far has been when we've had other people on the show.
Yes.
Other people are simply more interesting than we are.
Yes. The only requirements are that you have a microphone and you can speak English, because I don't know about you, but I can't speak anything else.
I can speak a little Japanese, but not enough to hold a proper conversation. Certainly not about Star Citizen. Um, but yeah, so that's it. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.